The Boston Celtics have looked very good early in this NBA season, and so far they are one of the top teams in the NBA. But they don't have a clear star player like most other teams in the NBA do, especially the top teams in the NBA. In today's video, we'll talk about the Boston Celtics and which player on their team is the star. Let's get right into it. Ultimately, the debate for who the best player on the Celtics is comes down to two players, and those players are Jayson Tatum and Kemba Walker. Both very good players, both different positions, and both at different points in their career. Lots of players on the Celtics have been stepping up, like Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Enes Kanter, Daniel Theis. Their role players have really been stepping up so far this season, so their success isn't totally all on Jayson Tatum and Kemba Walker, but these guys are definitely their two main star players. Kemba Walker and Jayson Tatum both have similar production so far this season, and their numbers are pretty close. So far on the year, Kemba Walker is averaging 22.3 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists per game on 41% shooting from the field. Jayson Tatum has been averaging 20.2 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game on 40% shooting from the field. So obviously very similar numbers. Kemba has a slight edge in points and assists, but Jayson Tatum has a slight edge in rebounding. So if you're looking at numbers, you aren't going to find much of a difference so far. However, their roles on the team and their style of play is definitely different, and I think that this is one of the things that really contributes to the Celtics' success so far. They both add a lot of value to the Celtics, they both get a lot of points, but they do it in different ways. Kemba Walker and Jayson Tatum both have similar shooting strokes in terms of three-pointers, in terms of mid-range. They are similar skill-wise in those areas, but besides perimeter shooting, they are definitely different types of scorers. They get their production in different ways. Jayson Tatum, I like it a lot when he gets his points back to the basket. He has a very good post game, especially for a guy his size. I think that is very important. He needs to use his size at the wing to his advantage, and I think that he is learning how to do that. And so a lot of his points come from backing guys down, from getting that little post fade, from getting that mid-range game going. Kemba Walker, on the other hand, is not going to be a guy who posts guys up and backs guys down. He uses the pick and roll game very well, in my opinion. He comes off screens very well. He attacks the basket very well for a guy his size at just over 6 feet. I honestly believe he's not even 6 feet tall, but Kemba Walker is a very good finisher for a guy his size. He's an acrobat. So obviously, even though these guys are putting up similar numbers, they get their numbers in different ways. Now, because these guys have had such similar production and they both are very important to this Boston Celtics team, it's hard to definitively say which player is the best player or most important player on the Celtics. A nod to Jayson Tatum, in my opinion, is that so far this season he has been more consistent than Kemba, in my opinion. His numbers, his production, his play has been more consistent. You can depend on him to go out there and show up every night. But a nod to Kemba Walker is that he has had some big games, and when Kemba Walker has a big game, the Celtics usually win. So it's really hard to compare these guys because they just add different things to the table, but they are both equally important. Kemba Walker also is the guy who the Celtics offense runs through. He's obviously the point guard. He's obviously responsible for distributing and scoring, and I think that he has done a great job of both of those things so far this season. It is a very close call, and honestly it could go either way, but at this point in time, I think, in my opinion, the best player on the Boston Celtics is Kemba Walker. And like I said, it's very close. It could go either way, but the offense runs through Kemba. He is the guy who they depend on every night. Like I said before, when Kemba has a big game, the Celtics win. When he has a bad game, they usually lose or they struggle to win. So for that reason, I would have to give the slight edge to Kemba. the Celtics just rely more on Kemba than they do on Tatum, and that's not to say that Tatum isn't a great player, and it's not to say that Tatum could be taken off this team and the Celtics would still be good, because that is not true at all. But the offense really depends on Kemba Walker, and he has done a great job of being the leader of this team so far this season. In my opinion, Kemba is better right now, but Tatum will become the first option soon. Maybe even later in this season, Tatum will emerge as the first option. I think that next season, definitely, Tatum will become the star player of this Boston Celtics team. Obviously, they have a lot of other good players too. Jayson, Tatum, and Kemba Walker are not the only reasons for the Celtics' success so far. I mentioned Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart earlier. Guys like those are also crucial to the Boston Celtics' success, but at this point in time, I think Kemba is better. Jayson Tatum is only 21 years old though, so like I said before again, he probably will overtake the Boston Celtics star player position soon. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below on who you think is the best player on the Boston Celtics. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, go a long way. Thanks a ton. I'll see you in the next one.